Everybody, welcome back to Bobby's Bucks, and today we're going to talk about scent control, scent reduction, and just the whitetail nose. Here we go. So researchers have estimated that bloodhounds can smell 1,000 times greater than humans, and whitetail deer can smell 1/3 greater than bloodhounds. When we're hunting an animal that can smell that good, it's pretty tough not to respect that and still think that we have a fighting chance. I became a believer about 10 years ago. I've been hunting a little over 20 years, and when I started as a young guy, I wasn't interested in spending all that kind of money on tools and scent elimination spray. I was really trying to prove it wrong, and it was only once I started incorporating more scent elimination tactics, I started seeing less of a reaction from deer when they would smell my tracks, or I would see more activity towards the end of the year. And I just wanted to talk about everything that I do to try to fight the deer's nose or make a difference, really. I don't think that there's anything that's really going to fix or trick a deer, but I always like to try to make a difference. I think there's things out there that we can do to give us a better chance at seeing more deer and closing the deal on bagging a good mature deer. I think it's really important to try not to contaminate your clothes, because that was why I kind of got away from using scents, because it was so tough to keep my clothing and my equipment odor free. You know, using all that stuff like masking scents and things, pretty soon you're gonna start to always smell like it, and deer will come by here, and we hunt in Michigan, and they will smell and look right up at the tree because they're getting a whiff of you, because you smell like the raccoon masking or the nose jammer or whatever else you're using to try to not smell like a human. Drags and scent bags and bombs and all this stuff trying to lure them, but what bucks, the mature, the smarter deer are smelling is something that's out of the ordinary. It's unnatural. It's like you can't really put in too much smell or you're gonna get the opposite effect. Deer absolutely are communicating with their sense of smell. They're biting and licking branches, they're scraping, you know, does are urinating in scrapes, and bucks are tracking them down from that. Mama does are tracking down their fawns from their sense of smell. They are communicating with all the glands they're rubbing on branches and things. To try to mimic it, you got to get it just right. You got to use the right stuff at the right time. And in Michigan, with our CWD problem, they outlawed it, so we can't really use them anyway. You really can find those kind of clothes that will make a difference. It really starts with quality gear. The clothing behind me is carbon lining clothing. So I went to a hunting show and they had carbon lined clothing over a scratch and sniff sticker. You could smell the aroma. You drop the clothing, you go to try to smell it. It was impossible to smell it. You know, when you're talking about expensive clothing, it's technology that's in the fabric that is going to cost you, but it's also going to last. So if, say, you're spending $150 on a coat, that $150 jacket is probably going to last you comfortably 10 years. I put my clothing to the test. I'm walking through really thick stuff, and I still have garments that have lasted me 15 years. So you're getting quality clothing for that price. The Walmart stuff, the $10, $15 shirts there, you're not going to have the carbon lining or the scent lock in that clothing. It is an investment, but you're going to get what you pay for. So you want to air dry all that stuff. You know, a lot of that stuff is going to smell like the factory. Put it into the washing machine. If you don't want to run the washing machine because your wife is using Downy and fabric softener and stuff like that, run a load of towels or something in scent-free first. You can even use baking soda. If you don't want to use the scent-free laundry detergent and the dryer sheets, use baking soda. That's a terrific tool to attack odor. Wash your garments and then leave them out to dry. If you don't have time for that, then use dryer sheets. Those dryer sheets work great. So one thing that we use after we wash our clothes is we use an ozone crusher. We have the bag. We bought the bag several years ago. It's a great tool. You pull the clothes out and they smell like they've been zapped with electricity. It definitely makes a difference. You can buy the bag, you can buy the closets. They're both incredible tools that work great. So once we crush them, we usually crush them before we go hunting. We'll usually crush them after we get them out of the washing machine, and then we'll put them in an airtight tote. But what goes in the tote when you buy new products, they don't want you to smell the chemical and the factory smell. So they'll leave a little bit of activated carbon in there. You can do the same thing. You can buy laundry bags and fill it up with activated carbon and put it in the totes that you put your hunting clothes in. This is going to attack any odor that may be remaining on your equipment and your clothing. If you're not the type of hunter that's willing to get dressed outside of their vehicle because you want to buy scent covers for your vehicle, for your seats, you can buy scent seat blockers that you can wash and treat and then put in your car. You can run an ozone machine in your vehicle. You can actually run a little ozone machine that puts out enough ozone that it's not damaging to you. You can run all the time. Detail your vehicle with baking soda and non-scent soap. Spray your body down, spray your boots down as soon as you get out of your vehicle, if that's what you're going to do. There's nothing that you can do to completely eliminate this, but this will make a difference so you can still go hunting and effectively leave less scent. That's what we're trying to do. So we'll put some carbon clothing in the description below. We'll put all the links to all these products that we talked about today. If you click that little triangle in the corner, that'll show you all the products. All those products are free to use. All those links there's no extra charge. They're great prices, and you're actually helping our channel if you do that. So thank you very much for using those links. I'm hoping that you guys will share your methods on what you do to try to reduce your scent. If you think this is crazy, please leave your comments below. I think that it's very tough to fool, if impossible to fool, a deer's nose, and if they get downwind of you, they're gonna smell you if they want to. It's hard to fathom how good they can smell, but I think it's crazy to try to hunt the animal without taking anything into account. So it's opening morning, nice and early. We're gonna have a cup of coffee, get packed up, and head out. We're here. Opening day is always interesting because you always forget something, or I just dropped my knee guard, so now my knees are up against the tree trunk, which is pretty uncomfortable after a few minutes, let alone hours. But I just got a text from the wife. Let's see what she said. It was just my work right there. Just better not lose your phone. We're really in the thick stuff right here. We don't really have much of a shot other than 10 yards. But I couldn't find a tree this morning without poison ivy. This is my first time in here this year, so I'm pretty familiar with the area. Just I didn't come in here and prep any trails or anything, so it was pretty rough. I was getting all packed up and I heard a grunt. It was probably about 50 yards away, but I could hear it loud and clear. I had the camera packed up. I had my bow dropped. Pulled the bow back up. I got my bow hung back up. I've got the camera hooked back up. Everything was backed up, but it was a loud grunt. So there's a buck walking right through here. So you know what? We might have one bedded down close. So I very quietly loaded everything and hooked everything back up. Okay, we're gonna pack up for real this time. It's all quiet, nothing came through. So, it sounded like he bedded down over there. So we're gonna pack up real quietly and get the heck out of here. Opening day was kind of a dud, so we decided if the deer weren't moving, we were going to go see if the fish were biting. We went out and we caught a couple fish. So as soon as the temperatures drop, we'll be sure to get back out into the woods and see if we can capture some good deer video. But in the meantime, just wanted to do this video on scent control and scent reduction rather. Please let me hear your thoughts. Please comment down below and let me know how you reduce your human scent, or how you hunt deer, or maybe you don't even try at all. I'd really like to hear that too. So thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed the video, and we'll see you on the next video. We're out on his... Chris is in a bad mood. His one battery's dead, so he couldn't get his main motor started. But we're gonna troll and still catch some fish.
It's a lot different than it is where we usually fish upriver, so it's deeper, has different surroundings.
Okay. Nice little one to start. Ooh, baby. Slippery. Slippery little sucker.
Beautiful fish.
Pretty. What'd you catch him on? Mimic minnow?
Mimic minnow.
Nice.
Grand River Pike, aka Grand River Barracuda.